Good morning.
Good morning.
How many of you have heard of Andrew Jackson Davis? How many of you know the magic staff? How many of you know the real story behind the magic staff? Kind of got you thinking there, didn't I? Andrew Jackson Davis. What a wonderful, phenomenal man. Was brought up in a very poor home. Only had about 5 months of schooling. His father was an alcoholic. And he was a big lover of wisdom and of truth and of knowledge. And there was a gentleman who is a tailor, Dr. Livingston. And he decided to work with Andrew Jackson Davis because he saw potential. And he worked with him in his trance mediumship and being a teacher and in medicine. Now, being after the quest of knowledge and truth that Andrew Jackson Davis was, he liked to meditate. And he had people who worked with him in the spirit world to bring him information and bring information through him, of which he wrote approximately 30 books. He's known as the Poughkeepsie Seer, John the Baptist of Spiritualism, and the father of spiritualism. One day during a meditation, he met with one of his guides. And he said, "I quest for knowledge, I quest for truth." And as he was looking at one of his guides, his countenance began to glow. And he picked up a cane. And he pushed a spring on the top, and the cane broke into 3 pieces. Through the center of this cane was a beautiful rod that had the appearance of polished silver. And each one of these 3 sections did not fall apart or fall off the cane when they separated. And this guide took the pieces, which were of diamond shaped, and said to Andrew Jackson Davis, "These blocks have all of the diseases known to mankind." And as he handed them to Andrew Jackson Davis, he unfolded them and read them, some of which diseases he did not even know. And the more he unfolded them, his guide said to him, "These are the curative treatments for each disease. As you use this information, use it to help those who come to you. Use it in the exact quality and quantity that you will hear." And as Andrew Jackson Davis read those, he handed them back to his guide, which his guide joined them once again with the 3 pieces of the cane. And the cane went immediately back together. And the joy and the knowledge of this information flooded Andrew Jackson Davis. And he looked at the countenance of his spirit guide and felt another presence step up behind him to the left. He felt this heat wash over his left side, his face, down his chest and his arm. and he sensed there was another being there. And this being came forth and said, I will tell you more of the significance of this cane. This cane signifies the whole being, the whole race. The morals, the ethics, the true spirit as seen in the rod running through. The truth, the great truth, the spirit and the spirit world which innervates each and every one of us. And as that cane comes together, the connection that each one of us feels. The disease signified by each little diamond signifies obstructions that will come through to your exterior life, but shall not affect the inner, except to make you enhance and love and search for truth. Because that inner being of you cannot be touched. It is the spirit of who you are, joined together. And with this, that spirit entity stepped away, and the cane was handed to Andrew Jackson Davis. And without a word being spoken, he sensed that it was time to get up and to depart. He took the cane with him and he stood, being ever so thankful and grateful for these words that he may take and speak to others to help out in the world. And as he took this cane, he began to come into the physical after his meditation. And there was a fence that he needed to gain access over to go back to his place. And as he took the cane and attempted to jump the fence, his coat got stuck on the fence, and he became angered, ever so angered, and surprised at his own actions. He thought to himself, I have never been so angered in all my life. And he thought, how silly for these two special beings who came to share this information with me. How silly I must look. And holding the cane, he knew that he could not get over the fence holding the cane. So he asked one of these spirit people to hold this cane as he gained the other side. And as he wept over, he pulled, ripping the coat, but feeling better for having avenged his anger and rage. Now, as he got on the other side of the fence was so high that he could not see the other two men on the other side. And he asked for the cane. And they spoke. Make sure that you keep yourself in line. Do not be swayed by anger. Do not be elated with joy. Do not be depressed. Keep thy center, knowing that this is what will pull you through. Andrew Jackson Davis thought, wow, how wonderful for them to once again share that information. And he said, is the cane, is my magic staff gone? And he stood there for a moment and he looked up into the sky. And there was a big lighted banner that said, behold, here is thy magic staff. Under all circumstances, keep an even mind. Take it, try it, walk with it, talk with it, lean on it, believe on it forever. And he said, in my magic staff, is that the longest sentence? Under all circumstances, keep an even mind. And the banner showed yes. And he proceeded to go home. And when he awoke from his meditation, he was in his home. And he said, where have I been? And the words came to him, the Catskill Mountains. And who was with me? Galen and Swedenborg. And if you don't know them, a wonderful saying, under all circumstances, keep an even mind. How many of you always do that? Kind of hard these days, isn't it? We allow the external world to pull us off kilter. We allow external things to cause us problems and obstructions in our physical body. To become one with the spirit of who we are. You see, spirit cannot be sick. And we are spirit first. As evidenced by when we go over to the spirit world, we keep our personality, we keep everything about us except for our body, which is where illness shows up. And how does that illness show up? Because we limit ourselves. We say, oh no, I can't possibly have more. Oh no, I can't possibly be well. Look what's going on in the world. How am I supposed to remain stress-free and healthy? By living in the present moment. By taking with you that information that is that rod, that unchanging truth, that spirit within you. And the three separate parts of the cane, body, mind, and soul, join together as that beautiful polished rod of spirit runs through us. And each and every one of you has that beautiful glowing spirit within you. But what do? We say, oh, there's not enough abundance. How many of you think the ocean ever lacks abundance? You could go to the ocean every single day and pull out dump trucks and dump trucks of water. Would the ocean still be? Absolutely. As it is in our spiritual lives. We always have that support. That support, comfort, encouragement, healing is always there. But we must ask. We must ask. Because you see, Spirit has already lived their lives. They're not going to come in and fix ours for us. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, excuse me, let me make you a list. The flowing. Allow Spirit to flow through you. Allow others to be on their journey. You know, I have one daughter and a son-in-law, and they're both wonderful people. Not just because I'm their mother. And I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. And as hard as it is for me not to say, honey, don't you think you should? Well, if I were you, I would. But you know what? It's her life. It's her lessons. It's her journey. Now she comes and asks me. But it's ultimately her decision. Allow people to flow. Allow people to make their own decisions. Allow them to be wherever they need to be. One of the things that I really found attractive about spiritualism was I was brought up at a Christian school, Baptist, and we would have church on Sundays and Wednesdays, and we would have church in school on Wednesday mornings. And they would always try to encourage us to repent and to become saved. How many of you have ever sat in those services? I mean, you feel guilty if you don't go up, even if you've been up 60 other times during the year. But spiritualism lets you live your life. They don't try to get you to buy in. It's your decision. You take it. You try it. You walk with it, talk with it, lean on it, and see if you can believe on it forever. Because each and every one of you can be as great as you want to be. But typically, what do? We kind of look behind us and see what's gone on, like the wake of a boat. Is the wake what moves the boat forward? No. It's the past. It doesn't move the boat. What moves the boat? The mower. Right here, right now. Your thoughts, your energy that you're putting forward into the world is what's going to propel you forward. It's going to give you the strength. It's going to give you the momentum. Because thoughts are things. And if you look back and you don't like what's gone behind you, and you don't like that life, you know what? You can start right here, right now, this minute to change it. Just by changing your thoughts, changing your attitude. Getting in touch with that inner being, that inner staff that is you, made from this physical body, expressed, a tool that we can use to practice. Because when we go to the other side of life, that inner rod, that inner staff is who we are. We shed all of this. Here is your magic staff. Under all circumstances, keep an even mind. Take it. Try it. Walk with it. Talk with it. Lean on it. Believe on it forever. It sounds real simple. But if you want to live the higher spiritual part of you, that is where you need to be. God bless you.